Hi everyone, Mr. Tweet here. So what I'm going to do in this screencast is I'm going to take one of these comparative advantage problems and I'm going to kind of go through it from beginning to end with you. So we're going to set it up, we're going to figure out who's got the comparative advantages, and then we're going to look at the terms of trade, which is the new kind of concept today. All right. So you'll notice I got a scenario up here. Mr. Tweet can plant 2 trees in 1 hour, or he can wash 2 cars. Mr. Millsap can plant 4 trees in 1 hour, or he can wash 3 cars. So first thing we need to figure out, is this an input or an output question, right? So notice that the number of the resource is an amount of time, and it's 1 hour, and it's not changing, right? 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. Doesn't change. Notice that the numbers that are changing, 2, 2, 4, 3, those represent things being done. That represents output. So we're talking about the service of planting a tree or the service of washing a car in this instance, all right? So to set it up, we're gonna put the people on the side. So I'm gonna put Tweet, Millsap, and we're gonna be planting trees and washing cars. So I'm gonna put tree, car. So I've set it up with the stuff on the top, the people on the side, and then I'm going to plug my numbers in here, right? Tweet can do 2 trees, he can do 2 cars. Millsap, he can do 4 trees, he can do 3 cars. So the first thing we're going to want to figure out is, what is the absolute advantage, all right? So the absolute advantage is who can do more. Who can do more trees? Millsap can. Who can do more cars? Millsap can. He's just all around better, right? So Millsap has the absolute advantage in trees and cars. He can do more. Now let's find out who's got the comparative advantage. For the comparative advantage, right? Remember, for an output question, for the output, we're going to go up horizontally. The other number goes over. So I'm going to take 2 and put it over 2. I'm going to take 2 and put it over 2. For Millsap, I'm going to take 3 and put it over 4 right here. And then right here, I'm going to take 4, and I'm going to put it over 3. All right? And so now that I've got my fractions, I'm going to go down the tree column to see who's got the lower opportunity cost on trees, right? For Tweet, right? When Tweet plants a tree, that keeps him from washing 1 car. When Millsap plants a tree, that keeps him from washing 3/4 of a car. So Millsap gives up less. So Millsap has got the comparative advantage when it comes to planting trees. When it comes to washing cars, Mr. Tweet gives up 1 tree to wash a car. When Millsap washes a car, he gives up 1 1/3 planting of trees. So Tweet's got the lower opportunity cost. So Mr. Tweet is going to wash the cars. He's got the comparative advantage of washing cars. All right. Now, who's going to import trees, right? Well, if Millsap is the one who's producing the planting of the trees, then Mr. Tweet's going to have Mr. Millsap do that for him. So Mr. Tweet's going to be importing the trees. Millsap's going to be exporting them. Right? When it comes to cars, Tweet's going to be exporting the washing of cars because he's got the comparative advantage. Millsap's going to be importing because he doesn't. Tweet's going to specialize in washing cars. Millsap is going to specialize in planting trees, right? So now the next stage, right? The terms of trade. When it comes time to trade, hey dude, you come plant a tree for me and I'll come wash some cars for you, right? We need to figure out what's going to be a fair trade, okay? That's the terms of trade. It's got to work for both, because if it doesn't work for both, right? Mr. Tweet is washing cars, Millsap is planting trees. Mr. Tweet says, hey, Millsap, I'll come over to your house and I'll wash your car if you come plant 4 trees for me. Millsap's going to be like, I'm not planting 4 trees for you to wash 1 car, right? So we've got to figure out what's going to be a trade that works, all right? So it can be, we're going to go down each column and we're going to look at the opportunity costs. Let me zoom you guys in here a little bit closer. So we're going to go down the columns and we're going to look at the opportunity costs to figure out terms of trade that works. So what is one tree going to trade for? Well, one tree has to trade for in between 1 3/4 of a car wash. So that means one tree for somewhere between 3/4 to 1 car wash. 3/4 doesn't work. 1 doesn't work. It's got to be a number in between those right there. So like one tree for 4/5 of a car wash, 0.8, that would work. One tree for 0.9 car washes, that would work. 0.99 would work. 1.01 doesn't work. It's got to be in between, right? Now, also, we can look at what the terms of trade for one car is going to be. One car wash will trade for in between 1 and 1 1/3 trees. So that when it comes time for them to make the deal, right? When Tweet and Millsap, when we're talking and we're like, hey dude, I'm really good at washing cars, right? I can do it cheaper than you. You're really good at planting trees. You can do it cheaper than me. How about I come wash your car? How come you come plant a tree for me, right? Millsap's gonna say, tell you what, Tweet, if you come wash a car for me, then I will, I'll plant 1 1/4 trees for you, right? That works. Or he'll say, if you wash a car for me, I'll do 1.1 trees for you. That works. 1.15, that works. 1.21, that works. 1.25, that works, as long as it's smaller than 1.1 1/3, 1.33. Right? Tweet says, right, you plant a tree for me, I'll wash 0.8 cars for you. You plant a tree for me, I'll wash 0.9 cars for you. It's got to be in between. So that's terms of trade. In order to make a deal that works, it's got to be in between the opportunity costs of that thing. All right? If it's outside of the opportunity costs, one side or the other is getting screwed. So let's look at, like, let's say we decide, would we do one tree for, I don't know, 2 cars, right? Would we do one tree for 2 cars? Well, no, that doesn't fit in this bounds, so let's figure out who's getting screwed by this, right? Mr. Tweet, if he's washing 2 cars, instead of washing 2 cars, I could just plant 2 trees. But here, I'm only getting 1 tree. So Mr. Tweet would be getting screwed. Mr. Tweet's gonna say, no, I ain't doing that. I'm not washing 2 cars for you to come plant 1 tree for me. That's not fair. I could just plant 2 trees instead of washing your 2 cars. So it's got to be in between the opportunity costs. That's terms of trade. Peace.